Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Investor Summit's Q4 event today. With me right now, I have Owen Moore, the CEO, and Margot Berry, the VP of Strategy. They're both from BeWhere. Owen and Margot, thank you for being here, and please take it away.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Kevin. Just start off with a big thank you to the folks at Investor Summit. It's been a productive day of one-on-one meetings, and we're looking to share a presentation with you this afternoon. Just before I hand it over to Margot to take us through some of our business highlights, we did release our Q3 numbers yesterday. They're posted on SEDAR. We're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange. I'll get into the actual numbers, but from a highlight perspective, it was record revenue, record net income, record devices sold. It was good progress for the company in the most recent quarter. And with that, I'll hand it over to Margot to take us through a business presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm assuming we have a lot of people that are not familiar with BeWhere, so we're going to start by a little introduction. What is BeWhere and what we do? So BeWhere is a company that designs, manufactures, and sells IoT trackers and sensors for industrial markets. So we call it a slap and track. So there are devices that can just be, I just noticed a typo, I apologize for that. There are devices that are right off the box, ready to be mounted onto an asset. The difference with some other asset tracking devices on the market is that we operate on low power and low cost 5G networks. Those are called LTE-M or NB-IoT. Those are IoT networks. They're specifically designed for M2M, so machine-to-machine communication, and they are very low cost. The monthly cost is very small compared to original 3G or 4G. We have two, call it main channels. We have the first one, which is disrupting the market of existing asset trackers with a lower cost product. And then we have a greenfield market in which we offer solutions where prior to our kind of structure, it was too expensive to just track things. The business model from a revenue perspective is very simple. We sell the hardware, and then which is a one-time cost, and then we collect the monthly recurring revenues either for the user interface or for the API when we integrate with third-party software. The IoT market is a giant market. It is the next generation, call it the evolution of tracking market. We're talking about a $50 billion market with many players, but we're still at the very early stage of that market. This slide is to give you a bit of 5 points overview about what makes BeWhere unique. The first one is our early entrance in the market, led by a team of experts. So those IoT networks launched in 2017, but we already had developed products based on guidelines. That gives us a unique position with telecom companies who need these new networks to sell more subscriptions, because there's only so many smartphones you can sell per person, versus technically tracking anything that you want. We are, as I said earlier, we're replacing existing technologies and we're opening new opportunities. In the last quarter, we sold over 23,000 new devices, and we accumulate the recurring revenues on those one and on the one that we sold prior. Our B2B model allows mass sales. So we have a very small team. We are about 12 people in our office in Toronto, yet we do sales north of 2 million in the last quarter, 2.4 million. The last quarter that we posted was record revenue. We have profitability achieved over the last 12 months, especially during COVID, which really reinforced that our business model is a strong one to offer remote technologies to business operators. We have a strong and increasing cash position, 2.7 million as of the last quarter, and we have no debt. And then what makes BeWhere really unique, in my opinion, is the team. The team such as Owen, the founder, Chris Pensuk, the COO, who knows the market very well. They have, Owen has founded a public company before, he sold it. used to be in a similar kind of industry, which was telematics, so vehicle tracking. So they know what the industry need, and they know how to bring the technology to those customers. And then we have continuous development with, again, that team of experts. So we always try to stay ahead of the herd by offering more products at a lower cost. This is a brief overview of what our business model is. So we have fixed and movable assets. We sell those trackers that are, those are the original size trackers that we had. We have a battery powered one. We have a solar powered one. They have a SIM card in it. They have a GPS in it. They have a bunch of sensors such as temperature, humidity, light, accelerometer to detect movements. They relay the data to our server through those IoT networks. And then the data is available through either the user platform that we offer, or we can integrate and white label the product to our resellers. I'm going to show you a brief video of one of our major partner, which is AT&T. Give me a second. We will show you the use case as well in the construction market.
Hey, I'm Mason, and I'm here to talk to small business owners about how AT&T's Asset Tracker 1 can help them keep track of all their valuable assets. Let's talk to them. You ever had anything that's ever, gone missing on the job site?
Brian, come here. I'm sorry. This actually recently just happened this week. We had the excavator that we were supposed to bring over here, but Brian brought it to the old site. So the whole time, we don't even know where it is.
So how did that make you feel where everybody's blowing up your phone trying to figure out where this thing that you're supposed to be responsible for?
Feel dumb, made a mistake.
What would happen to you if you were the only person on this site and this generator went missing?
I could lose my job.
What if I told you that this is all you need to save yourself from embarrassment? Do you understand?
I understand.
Because this is what you need. Do you know what it is? Say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Asset Tracker 1 from AT&T. I guess I'm the only one who's doing it again. Did you know this thing has a geofence? Scientists, they got together and when it shoots up and it makes a fence around the entire area. And if anything leaves that geofence, you get an alert. It's like a shot collar for a dog, but except like the only way you gonna know that is if the dog leaves the fence.
I want to use it now.
You can't, you gotta buy one. Get tracked, bro. Little leaf blower head, get tracked. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it costs more than what I got. Get tracked, because if not, it's gonna get snatched. Remove all the guesswork of managing your assets with AT&T's Asset Tracker 1. We love you so much. Thank you, AT&T.
We love these. Oh, let me go back to that. Okay, so this is, for example, a use case based on construction. So we have a number of distributors that work in a wide array of different industries, whether it's fleet management or construction, food and beverage. So we have a lot of different industries that we can operate on, thanks to that low cost, where prior to having those kind of devices, it was just too expensive. A little overview of our products. I'm gonna try to go back to this bigger size. Sorry about that. And this is a list of some of our resellers here at the top. I'll go back to it if there are questions. So original legacy products where we are fine-tuning it to bring more devices on the market. The BSOL, the B10, the BeWired, where it pings your location, allows you to track assets, very low power, so very low battery draw. We are also FirstNet certified. FirstNet is a first responder network in the US. We are the only asset tracker that is certified at this stage. Our company is very lean in terms of expenses because of the model that we have. So 12 people in the company is only a few salesperson, but the big advantage of our model is that our resellers do most of the marketing. So those are 2 examples of Fleet Complete, who's also an AT&T partner, and how they, how they put our product on their page, on they sell it. McNally is also one of our distributor in the fleet management industry. Now we have, how do we stay ahead of the curve? So we need to continuously develop. So we started a new product with the latest of the technology available. This is kind of back on the time of the telephones, the cell phones, where it used to be very big. And as we progressed through the years, the components start to become smaller and smaller. So we were able to recently develop a new product, which is not going to come and cannibalize our existing product. It comes as an add-on because it is a smaller device. So this is the B Mini, and this is an example of the size of the B Mini compared to my AirPods case. And this is a tile device, which is only Bluetooth connected. So very small, and then we add technology onto it. So we have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, which allows indoor location. It's to attract a different kind of market for smaller assets. And this is what is the beauty of the IoT network, is becoming smaller, and it's so cheap, so you can start tracking everything that you want. So this is launched in this quarter. We are just waiting for a few certifications before the telecom will start selling it to the market. So the use cases with the existing product that I show you were more of a large outdoor asset. Trailer is one of our low-hanging fruit. We sell a lot of trailers through the United States and Canada. It is roaming, so it is easy to start in Canada, end up in the US somewhere. Big construction, generator trailers, fixed assets. And then we're moving to things that are smaller, such as portable generators, packages, returnable packages, bike share companies, smaller tools, remediation equipment, pallets, cache tracking, anti-theft solution, thanks to those Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module that we have. And then what makes us different is the way that we design firmware on those little devices. We're making intelligent firmware, so we try to save as much cost from a bandwidth perspective, and also from a battery perspective. So we try to make them last as long as possible. This is one more quick video on the new product, which is just to show you one of the use cases that we have, which is bike tracking. BeWhere. This is a bike ride, and below is the date. So those are just little teasers that we put out for the market to expect what we're putting out. The last part of our product is obviously...
Hey, VC here, and today I want to tell you a story of the 12 hours of Road America. Now, cycling is usually a...
So when we sell a piece of hardware, we have the software component, which is a user interface. So the big advantage of the BeWhere products is that they completely stand alone or completely integrable into a third-party solution. The prices vary in function of which menu the reseller will choose. This is an example of just buying the product out of the box. You get your software, your user interface, or you have an API which allows you to push the data into somebody else. For example, Geotab is one of the largest fleet management company in North America, and we integrate directly onto their platform. So they sell the telematics device, which is the actual fleet tracking solution, and then they can add the asset trackers onto the set map, which allows them to use the same kind of rules, geofencing, etc. This is a very easy to sell solution to many of the customers. And I will pass it over to Owen with the financials.
Awesome. Thanks, Margaret. I want to maximize.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So as Margot mentioned, we sell through distribution. Our largest distribution partners are the mobile network operators. That includes AT&T, T-Mobile, and up here in Canada, it is Bell Canada is our large mobile network operator partner. Bell isn't just a distribution partner, they're also an R&D partner. They're also an investor in our company. They own about 6 or 7 million shares in us. As I mentioned right out of the gate, we recently released our Q3 financial results. We posted our 8th consecutive quarter of positive EBITDA, came in just under 220,000 Canadian in EBITDA. And the next slide, Margot. From a net income perspective, we posted our 4th positive net income, our record at just under 150,000 in positive net income. And you know, with all the troubles that COVID has caused, and it's hard to imagine anybody that hasn't been affected by it in some format. From our business perspective, COVID has been a boon. It's allowed us to ramp our revenues. It's allowed us to go from net losses to being in the black and producing positive net income. The reason for that is as companies went to a work-at-home model, they still needed eyes and ears on their assets, and that started to ramp our business. Once again, it was the record on total revenue, just shy of 2.5 million in the quarter. And as Margot mentioned, we're a fairly lean operation. We have 12 people in the company, and we're starting to approach close to $1 million per employee, which I think is indicative of a company that's running quite lean and nevertheless performing. The next slide. Quickly on our cap structure, our symbol is BEW on the venture. On the OTC, it's BEWFF. This is all in Canadian that you're seeing here. So this is the venture data. Recently traded at 27 cents. I think it closed yesterday at 27 cents. We have about 88 million shares outstanding. Our enterprise value is about $20 million. Market cap of 23. We have zero debt. Positive working cap of 3.78 million. Cash on hand of 2.72, and that was up from about 2.5 and change, strictly based on producing operating cash, not based on any warrants or options exercised. We're not financing. We have no interest in financing at these levels. In fact, management and insiders have been buying fairly regularly for the last year.
I gotta apologize. I got the wrong date on this again. Copy and pasting.
Okay,
So
that's
not January. That's yesterday.
Yeah, this is recent data that we're showing you here, and I think that might be our last slide, unless there's I'm missing one. So with that, we do see there's one question in here. Maybe we'll start with that.
And it's from Irvin. I know Irvin.
We met Irvin earlier today.
So the question from Irvin is, thinking about how thinly traded the stock currently is, how does management plan to improve visibility for the company and improve liquidity/volume? Okay,
well, that's a good question, and we haven't really invested much in IR for the last year and a half, as we've kind of kept our heads down and focused on getting the company to a profitability stage. Now that we are profitable and have some time on our hands, we've been signing up for events like Investor Summit. Microcap is another summit that we do, and we do plan on getting out there and marketing both virtually and in person here on Bay Street and nationwide throughout the U.S. So it's something that we've lacked over the last year and a half or so, but it's also something that we're beginning to focus on again. I hope that helps, Arvin.
That's it.
That's it. If there's no other questions, I think, Kevin, we might wrap up there. Oh, I think there's something else on the chat.
Yeah, I just see another question here in chat.
Yeah, what catalyst do you foresee for timeline growth going forward? Can you provide any metrics for customer concentration and growth in that area?
Okay. So two questions there. Customer concentration, over 80% of our revenue is coming from the US. So we are, a lot of our money is coming from US-based clients and US-based distributors. The first part of that question.
Can you provide any metrics for customer concentration and growth in that area?
Sure. So growth, we're just launching the Mini. We expect that to increment our revenues going forward. The carriers our largest partners will be picking it up and will be available through them. Some of them starting as soon as 2 weeks from now, others starting in Q1 of 2022. It's not parasitizing our existing products, and we have a solid pipeline of opportunities of existing opportunities that we think will start to come to fruition. And some of these deals can be pretty big. Margot mentioned that we sold 23,000 devices in the last quarter. I can tell you we're working on opportunities that represent over 50,000 devices for one particular opportunity, and many in the tens and 20,000 unit range.
Another question from Michael Reed. Has the Mini been rolled out to your distribution network? Have you had any issues with global supply chain?
That's a good question. So Okay, so the Mini is commercialized now and will be available through our mobile network operator partners, so AT&T, T-Mobile, and Bell. Bell being the first in the next couple of weeks. We expect T-Mobile to be early Q1 and AT&T looking like the end of Q1. Supply chain issues. So, you know, the way we've gotten around supply chain issues is by putting hard commitments to our suppliers, and the downside of that is regardless of whether we get the sale or not, we're taking on those components. But it's more important for us to be able to supply our important partners with product than it is to, you know, spend a little bit of extra money in building up inventory. You know, silicon's been an issue in the industry for a while now. First it was, you know, a fire at a factory in Japan, and more recently it's raw silicon that's you know, being produced in China, where they have a bit of a good chunk of the raw silicon market. Having said that, we're managing our way through it. Now we have seen some price increases. I think that's been ubiquitous across the globe. But at the same time we were getting price increases, we had already started an initiative to reduce BOM cost of our device. And so it ended up being a wash, and we've actually come through pretty good on it. We don't have any major delays on getting inventory out to our partners and clients today.
Okay. Next question from Mitch Williams. How many shares does Bell own in BeWhere?
About 6 or 7, Mitch. Thanks for the question.
Anonymous, you might have mentioned this. Is Apple, AirTag, and Tile competitors?
They are not competitors. We're going after the B2B market, and the major difference between something like the AirTag or the Tile device, which Margot is showing, is that those devices leverage a phone and a phone's location and a phone's communication to get their data out. Our devices have cellular module built into it. It has Bluetooth built into it, Wi-Fi, and an array of sensors. And for the clients that we sell this to, particularly the clients that are using it for anti-theft and security, to rely on somebody else's cell phone to get data out and not get data out on a timed or on a movement basis, just about it. If you look at a picture of our clients, they include the large armored car providers. They include people that want to track their assets and don't want to rely on a third-party cell phone. And once again, B2B, we're not B2C. Our focus on the business.
Question from Mitch Nolay. Can you next year?
We're not there yet, Mitch, but we're trying to get there. We are getting more visibility. We have orders coming in from our clients that push us out for the next 3 or 4 quarters. And hopefully as we move into 2022, we will provide more concrete guidance.
And then one question from Russell Person. Do you have pre-orders for the Mini? Does the demand looks like?
Yeah, we are getting some pre-orders in already. Demand looks like it's going to be strong. And like I said, we feel that's a catalyst for us in 2022. That should increment our revenues up.
Okay, one question from Jala Ali. I was wondering if Owen could help us better understand the volatility in gross profit. It makes total sense if gross profit margin varies from one quarter to another, but I don't understand how gross profit absolute number can be lower than the last quarter, even if we consider hardware sales a little or no margin at all.
Yeah, so we did get some hiccups on component price increases that affects margin, but the real impact on margin depends on the mix of product that we're selling. So we have 4 products, including the Mini, that are in the market, and some of those go out at a higher margin, some of them go out at a lower margin. It really is the mix of products that we're selling on any given quarter that affects it.
That's all I see. Kevin?
Yeah, I don't see any more. If you guys have any closing remarks.
Nope, just want to thank everybody for attending today, and hope you keep an eye on us as we move into 2022. 2021 was a great year for us, and we're expecting things to continue for us going forward. Thanks,
Great.
Kevin.
Owen and Margot, thank you for being here today, and thanks for all of our participants being here at Investor Summit, and hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
Thank you.